What's up, everybody? We're here today for our first ever JayField interview with JayField's first ever client, SFE. We're here with the CEO of SFE, Shane Wright. Woo! What's up, bro? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. Appreciate you guys for having me on.
That's good. Thank you for popping out. We're in beautiful DC today. What's today? Saturday. And we're going to just, give us a little insight about your company. We want to hear a little bit about you, about your journey.
You want me to talk about SFE? I can talk about SFE all day.
SFE, yes. It's your baby, Like,
Indeed.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first company you have?
Yes.
Firstborn, you got to talk about your firstborn a little bit.
They say the firstborn is a favorite, but I don't know.
We'll see. You never know until you get a second one, right? So, you don't know. So let's see about that. But first, I think the people need to know, who is Shane? Like, who is the CEO of SFE? Tell us a little bit about you, your background, where you're from, where you grew up, where you went to school, type of thing. Let us know.
All right, so like you said, I'm Shane Wright, CEO of Smooth Family Entertainment LLC. Yep. I gotta put that out there. Gotta put that out there. Born and raised Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush, New York.
Facts.
Sorry.
Okay.
I love Brooklyn, but I love Flatbush even more.
Word.
17th and Church, shout out to 17th and Church. Went to Pace High School, decided to go to SUNY Brockport for undergrad, probably because my mom forced me to. But met a great amount of people there, made some good connections. Wasn't the greatest undergraduate experience, but especially for things that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I came to college thinking that I wanted to be a sociology major. I thought that people just fascinated me, so I was extremely fascinated with people. So I was like, if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be with people. Like, it's gonna have to do with people, have to do with relationships and whatnot. So something that's actually interesting in our origin story is that I started DJing as soon as I got to college. So when I started DJing, I started getting to college. Me and my boy DJ Trey, shout out my guy DJ Trey. We just started hitting up a couple of the college parties, walking around with a speaker, little mixer, started DJing the parties. And if you know Brockport, and my Brockport people will tell you, it's about one party for black people, and all the black people was going to the same party.
I went to school upstate too, so I know that upstate SUNY experience to get a little.
So you go to everybody, all the black people's going to the same party. We decided, we're gonna do it. We're gonna DJ a party, and honestly, it was a hit.
It just took off from there.
It's a hit. Okay. So we started going around doing a lot of DJing in Oswego. We came to Syracuse. We used to go all over the SUNYs. Right. We've been to Philly. We've been to DC. Right. Just doing DJing events for schools and whatnot.
So do you think you started DJing? When did that switch? Because you said you went into college wanting to be. You like people.
Yes,
you went
love
to
people.
Sociology and things. So when you started DJing, was it just I can do this, so I'm gonna do it, or was it when did you get to the point where you're I'm gonna do this? I wanna.
Well, I'll say that I've always had a love for music. Okay. My mother's a big music lover. Okay. My grandmother's a huge music lover.
Okay. So
I'd put her record collection against anybody's record collection. That's just me being real. Mm-hmm. My dad, God rest his soul, probably the biggest music lover of us all. He was a DJ himself, sound man.
Nice.
Used to run the streets in New York in the 90s, used to run the streets of DC in the 2000s, right up until he passed away. And so I always say inherently I've had a love for music.
Okay.
So, and my love for people kind of developed, as I've, dealt with relationships, with building with personal relationships, just professional relationships, even in school relationships, we're dealing with my relationship with my basketball coach. That was important to me. So that's just something that I took from that. I took that, I really like people. I really like music. So I would say this is kind of like a right place, right time intersection where my love for music and my love for people kind of just interconnected, and I was able to see the vision this is what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do, but it got to be something in music.
Okay.
And yeah, it kind of just took from there. I DJed. After that, one of my friends was one of the first people, my creative director, one of the first people to put me in front of a microphone. And then I discovered that my love for rapping is I like to make music.
Okay. So you were a rapper before CEO.
Yes,
Nice.
definitely.
So student, rapper, then CEO. Okay. Yeah. That's a perfect story.
I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's definitely been a journey. It's been a crazy experience.
That's cool.
I would say that, and that's kind of like just the very, very short story. There's a lot of different things that happen in between there that kind of shaped where I'm at. But I would say that student, rapper, CEO, student again.
Right, student
So
again.
because, and I said
Learning.
that's kind of where we are right now. SFE, like I said. Or maybe I didn't say it, but SFE's content production company. So we've built from becoming just a DJ company to just basically a pseudo record label for me specifically.
Right.
Just trying to figure out how to navigate the music industry and whatnot, to now kind of focusing in and zeroing in on content production and how we can bring content specifically geared towards musicians, music influencers, but mainly on a larger scale, like content creators in general, and how we bring their brand and we use content in general as marketing material so that they can utilize that to establish their brand identity.
Right, that makes sense. So I guess, like, was there a prominent point within your undergrad time to, let's just say, till the end of undergrad, like, that you was like, I need to, or like, when did it all start? Like, when did that switch kind of happen? Was there a prominent point, or it just kind of gradually you like, this makes sense and this is more, comfortable or, passionate for you?
I'll tell you this. In the spirit of transparency, I'll tell you when my switch happened. My switch happened, I want to say, about August 2018 is when my switch really happened. Okay. I was working 3 years out of undergrad, working a job that I didn't really want to work, working as a social worker. Because, like I said, I love people. So if I couldn't find my way into the music industry yet, I was going to do something that I really like to do, which is creating relationships, building relationships, and establishing relationships. So I was working as a social worker, helping formerly homeless youth basically try to get on the right path, especially between the ages of 18 and 21. I figured I could make an impact, and I feel like if I'm gonna pay it forward, I'm gonna pay it forward with the youth.
With the youth, yeah. No, that makes
so
sense.
I would say I was sitting in my car one day, and I was just extremely frustrated because I always wanted to be in some shape or form. I wanted to be in the music industry. I wanted to, and that's attributed a little bit to my own stubbornness, is that I thought I'm gonna at least do it my way.
Right.
I'm gonna figure out how to do it, and I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
And
sometimes that could be a good thing.
It could be.
It's a thin line.
Yeah, it's a very thin line. I say that, but at the same time, when things are not working in a certain direction, sometimes you have to take a step back and be like, all right, maybe I could do this a different way.
Reevaluate it.
So I'll say it, just in straight spirit of transparency again, I was in my car and I started freaking crying because it was just overwhelming to me that I was sitting here like really just looking at people do what they want to do. And it's like, why is nobody telling me the secrets? Why is nobody telling me what to do to get to the next level? Like, why do I feel like I have to work harder and harder and harder to get to where I want to be? And it seems like much easier. You get what I'm saying? I feel like, but I feel like I had to reach that point. You get what I'm saying? I had to. I'm a stubborn guy. I admit that all the time. I'm a stubborn guy. I'm gonna do it the hard way because if I think it's the right way to do it.
I'm similar.
You get what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta humble yourself. You gotta humble yourself, and I take that moment as a moment of humility where even God, I feel like God had to sit here and talk to me like, yo, bro, like you're really wilding right now, and I'm really trying to tell you to go this way, but you keep going this way. So I'm really gonna make this as hard as possible for you, so that you understand we need to go this way. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I'd say in August 2018, I took a leap of faith. I packed up my stuff. Me and my girlfriend, we moved up to Syracuse. And I just decided, New York City, I love New York City. I'm from New York City. It's just too much. It was just too much movement for me. So I felt like everywhere I'm going, like I didn't have a path to go to. Like there was no lane for me here. So I said, let me step back and let me find my own lane. Let me find my own lane. And how to do that? I need to stop. I can't be around noise. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
I can't be around noise.
I do.
So we packed up our stuff. We moved to Syracuse.
That's cool.
And ultimately, I think and hopefully moving forward, is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Because when I got to Syracuse, I was able to sit back, I was able to think, I was able to go, okay, cool, what do I want to do? Do I want to be a rapper for the rest of my life? It would be nice. You get what I'm saying? But I think I'm more than that. I'm more than that. I'm more than just being a musician. Like, I love music to my soul. But I'm more than being a musician. So because I'm more than being a musician, I think that I can really take that next step and be a CEO. So what did I do?
You took
Look at this. This is a plug right here for y'all, right?
Talk to him. Tell him.
I called my brother.
Tell him what you did,
I called my brother Jiggy Josh, a.k.a. Jay Frank.
Jay Frank.
And I said, Jay, I'm really stressing out, man. I'm out here in Syracuse. I've been out in Syracuse for about 6 months. And I said, Josh, you know, I see you doing your thing. Of course, I see him moving how he moving from afar. This is before I didn't even know that you guys didn't have clients like that. You get what I'm saying? Me and Josh talk
beginning as well.
Me and Josh talk on the phone. He's like, yo, you need a business manager. You need somebody to help you figure out what you're doing.
You need a business brain.
Yeah, you need a brain. I like that plug.
You need a business brain.
You get what I'm saying? He's like, it's too much stuff for you to do. You get what I'm saying? It's too much stuff for you to do. You're not going to be able to focus on being a creative. You're not going to be able to focus on building your business as a CEO. So how are you going to go about doing that? Are you going to sit down and try to do everything by yourself? Or are you going to invest in yourself, invest in the things that you want to do? So if you have a business idea, which I did have, which was SFE at the time, which I would say was more so, and just in hindsight, it was more so I was treating it like a hobby. I was treating it like a hobby. I was treating it like something that, I rap well, so people should sign me. Or
you need
I
to
rap
find a way
well.
to turn your niche into cash somehow.
Sounds
like, yes.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You got in contact with the perfect people, like, somehow. So that's great. That's great.
Yeah, so I would say, like I said, I hit my boy Josh up. I said, yo, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. What's my next step? Because I feel like I'm having these roadblocks. I'm having these things that I feel like people are not telling me things, or I'm not even actively researching. Maybe I'm researching the wrong shit. Like maybe that's what's happening. But
normal.
I would say, my man Josh, he said, yo, if you want, you got to set up your LLC. You got to set up your LLC, and we can figure things out from there. And that's the little bit about the birth of what SFE LLC has become.
That's great.
Because even from then, we've come from just somebody who creates musical content for me, in terms of just pushing out my albums and whatnot, to kind of a company that has taken what we've learned from the rights and the wrongs that we've done with dealing with me as an artist, with dealing with even me as a business, as a brand. And now we've been able to take out what's right, what's wrong, what's right, what's wrong. And of course, that's subjective to any brand or any artist that you're working with. But because we're able to do that, we're now able to kind of formulate a curriculum that's able to help other artists and reach out to other artists to kind of help, like I said, help them establish their brand identity. Because, folks, branding is everything. Everything.
Single thing. You need your merch. People have brands with no merch. Like, who are you? I don't no business cards. Like, come on, you gotta have something, man.
Yep.
No, I agree. I think you have a really good point of, or your story is really well for two things. One is like, you didn't really know what you needed to do. You just had this idea, and there's this thing called like analysis paralysis. People think so much that they don't do anything. They get stuck. And so like I enjoy your story because it's like, I didn't know. I just had these skills. I had these thoughts. I had these passions. And I needed to figure out how to navigate it. Where does it go? How does it fit? And you're speaking to the new entrepreneurs, you know, not only in your industry, but overall. So tell us a little bit about your services. Like, tell us, what does SFE provide? Like, you go through you're a multimedia company. So tell us about the multitudes of media that you provide, please.
All right, so we cover all aspects of audio production, all aspects of visual production.
Okay.
Now, in terms of audio production, that means that we got connections with producers, we got connections with sound engineers, audio engineers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers, any type of engineer.
Right. Any type of audio engineer.
Yeah. So we got a team that does ADR, which is basically audio visual work on the audio side, to clean up your audio from your visuals and whatnot. Visual production team run by, I would say that I have two creative directors. One runs my audio production, one runs my visual production.
Okay.
As you can't see him right now, but my visual creative director is currently behind the camera.
Yes, sir. Shouts to him.
Yes, LJay, as you know, shot by LJay. So
Right.
let me
Shot
throw a little shameless plug in there. But yeah, so we cover all aspects of visual productions. We have a graphic design team. We have so for cover arts for musicians, and I would say that our main target demographic is musicians and music influencers, but we are trying to expand into all aspects of content creation. So that's why we want to work with sports podcasts. We want to work with sports shows. We want to work with business consulting firms, you know, to kind of help them utilize content to establish their brand identity. So I say that we have a process. We have a process, and that's kind of what makes us unique.
Right.
We're very, very client-centered.
That's good.
I tell my team all the time, I need the client in the driver's seat. Like, we are in the van and we're going wherever the client wants to go. If the client wants to go here, that's where we're going. But the client is in the driver's seat.
Okay.
We're sitting in the other seats.
Right.
And that's why we listen to the client. We like to, you know, give the client a level of autonomy that I don't feel like a lot of other content production companies may give. And that's just from my experience. So I'm sorry, other content production companies,
No, it's all
if y'all
good.
feel like y'all offended and whatnot. But from the experience I've worked with people who do content creation, is that, you know, while sometimes they might give you free range and say they like to market like, yeah, we give you free range, but what does that look like? What does that look like?
So someone could like come to you with the overall project or like an idea of a project. So let's just say, I guess they could do both. It'll be completed or incomplete, and your team will be able to assist them to bring it to completion, or just start from scratch and kind of help them do everything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I like to keep extremely creative people on my team. I think that we're a creative content creation company.
Yeah.
If you keyword creative, and we service creatives. So you have to have some level of creativity in your thinking, in your thought process, for at the very minimum for me to be like, okay, you know, this is something I could work with, because I'm a strong believer in building something out of nothing. I think that there's always there's pressure. When pressure makes diamonds, there's always some type of diamond in the rough. So if you come to me with an idea and you're like, Ham, Shane, Guru, whatever you call me, I got this idea. I'm really, really passionate about this idea. Kind of like the niche, turning your niche into cash.
Right.
I feel like we cover the step prior to the cash. You get what I'm saying? Like, turning your niche into cash is this whole timeline. So where do we fit in? We probably fit in right about the middle, where when you decide to really invest in your brand, and now you want that to kind of be shown throughout throughout your marketing plan. So that's through your social media, that's through your website, and we basically provide the production for that. So this is whether photo shoots, that's
Right.
Any type of visual.
And I think you have a really good, like, you know, well, for one, since you are someone who turned something into nothing for your own company, you went from just an idea to the CEO of a multi-media production company. And so you can probably really resonate with individuals who either have an idea to turn it from rags to riches, or you know, 0 to 100, however, whatever analogy you want to use, but like you can resonate really closely and well with those individuals. So I think that's really cool. I did want to ask you though, like, since you have your team, you have your plan, and you have your vision. So like, what's next for SFE? What's next for SFE, and then what's next for CEO Shane Hamlet? What's next?
All right.
Tell us.
So I'd say what's next for SFE? We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grow. We're taking this little by little. One of the things I like to say is that I don't believe in skipping steps. I don't believe in that at all. I believe that I will say that a very large part to why it took me so long to recognize what I'm passionate about, as well as how to get to where I want to get to, is that I was given a lot of steps. I thought that you go from, oh, I can rap. All right, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
I can be famous.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But there are little steps that you have to do, like being organized, writing stuff in your calendar, like little things that you may think that are insignificant, but actually hold a lot of weight. I would say that next thing for SFE, like I said, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to build our clientele. We're going to continue to network with a lot of different companies that have a creative vision for how they want to market their brand.
So you guys are open to collaborations?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Absolutely.
So you have any collaborations that like are up and coming that you kind of have in the works, or you just like, you know, you're doing your own thing until it comes about, right time, right place?
I would say as of right now, we don't really have any collaborations from a business perspective. Okay. I would say that we are collaborating with a lot of creatives to assist them with building their own original content, and we are actually packaging that and building what we call the Smooth Family Network.
Nice.
Smooth Family Network is going to be where all Smooth Family original content holds a home too. So that means that we're going to have a whole bunch of original content on there. We're going to have a whole bunch of new podcasts that are coming out.
Nice.
Any new shows and new ideas that me and my creative director kind of develop on our own, as well as people who we collaborate with. So those are things that we're looking forward to doing.
Might end up being like a Revolt TV, like a, you know,
like
a
Vice Media and whatnot. I also, I'm a college student, graduate student.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to finding an internship, honestly, with some of these content production companies that are successful, so I can pick their brain.
And that's a gem as well. A lot of people think, I'm a CEO, I don't need these bigger companies. I don't need knowledge. Like, I'm going to learn on my own. I'm going to find, you know, and they don't understand the value of like having either a mentor or someone that's in the position you want to be, or can help you get to that position. Like, talk to them. You utilize the resources that you get and, you know, take it and make it your own, and then recreate it.
I advise everybody to find a mentor. Find a mentor. Find somebody that's doing what you do. I have some pseudo mentors. I'm actually in the process of looking for a mentor right now, but I have some pseudo mentor, my professors and whatnot, which I would hope would turn into my mentors, honestly and truly, like, because they're very knowledgeable. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of, I listen to them when they speak, you know, and that's kind of a lost art in itself, is being receptive, like being receptive to criticism, being receptive to feedback.
And I think that's almost like, you said you can't skip steps, but that's a way to like not skip a step, but kind
accelerate.
Accelerate.
I would say
you're
accelerate.
Gonna accelerate, because instead of like, you know, in order to learn stuff, you're either gonna research, you're gonna go through it, or like it's gonna be something along those lines. But if you hear it from someone who is transparent to tell you exactly what to expect, or around the ballpark of what to expect, that can accelerate you because you're thinking about it, you know? So these are gems that I hope our listeners are actually you know, keeping it close to the heart as they go through their journey. You know, this is.
I hope so. Some people don't like giving this stuff out.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm saying, bro. Like, this is we here to help. Like, we're your business brain. We're gonna bring people like Shane up here to give you gems on how they run their business, how to accelerate. Like, come on, Google accelerate my business and tell me if that helps you. Like, I don't.
It doesn't.
I don't think
I'll let you know that right now. It
right,
doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't.
No, that's.
I would say that a portion of it is research. A lot of it is actually research. To be quite frank with you, and the other half of it, or the other remaining percentage, is networking and making those connections and. You know, putting yourself out there. A lot of things when you're dealing with entrepreneurs is that you're dealing with fear. You're dealing with you're dealing with a roadblock of fear. True. And it's like, all right, I want to do this. Yep, I want to do this, but I can't do this, or I feel like I can't do this because either it's too hard, or you just don't know which way to go.
Right.
And
uninformed, misinformed.
Yeah, misinformed.
Right.
And it can become frustrating. And I say that from personal experience, is that when I didn't know what I had to do to get to where I needed to be, it was literally the most frustrating feeling to ever feel, because you can either make a decision, hey, I'm going to go work for somebody for the rest of my life, which is not a bad decision, because being an entrepreneur is a different level of energy. Right. I would say that.
You're gonna need a whole nother interview for that. Like, being an entrepreneur, what does that mean?
It's a
Shane?
level of self-confidence that.
Yeah.
It's borderline arrogance. Yeah. It's borderline arrogance, to be honest. It's borderline arrogance. And, you know, I don't want to say I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I wish this for everybody. Yeah. I wish that you would have a level of self-confidence that you feel like I can go and I can sell water for a living. Like, I can develop my own water. And what does that look like? It sounds crazy. It sounds impossible. It sounds like something you can't do, but how do you think Deer Park became Deer Park? How do you think Poland Spring became Poland Spring?
Selling the world's free natural
water.
Thing.
Somebody decided that, hey, this is free water. I want to sell it. And it worked.
Marketing.
It worked somehow. You get what I'm saying?
They probably had somebody like SFE.
Yeah, maybe.
To create this story for them and take their pictures.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I think you gave us like a lot of sauce. I think you dropped a lot of sauce. You told us what SFE is, what's your vision as the CEO, where are you taking it next. I think you told us everything except how the people can get in contact with you. So if I wanted to come to SFE and turn my thought into a production, like how can I do that? Tell the people, please.
All right. You can find SFE everywhere on the internet.
Everywhere. That's what I like
where
to
you
hear.
Consume social media.
Facts.
And where you don't, probably.
Right. They might have been in the project that you had.
So you can find us everywhere at Smooth Family ENT. That's SMOOTH Family, FAMILY ENT. That's everywhere. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And we're gonna drop it at
TikTok,
the bottom, so you can see it all. You can have it all.
TikTok, LinkedIn. You can find us everywhere. Do your Google search if you'd like. Like I said, we'll put this at the bottom of the screen. You can follow me everywhere at Frostman Guru. That's my handle. CEO Guru, as they call me. And yeah.
Great.
I would say, just to wrap it up,
well, give the entrepreneur something.
Give me an entrepreneur? Let me look at you, entrepreneur.
Yeah, give him something.
Future entrepreneur, current entrepreneur, past entrepreneur, come back to entrepreneurship. It's fun over here. You get to go places like DC and do interviews and whatnot. My super, super important thing to reach out to my entrepreneurs, enjoy the journey. Please enjoy the journey. Life is about obtaining knowledge and learning it so that you can enjoy your life way better.
Yes.
So enjoy this journey, even the hard parts, even the boring parts.
Yeah, the beauty's in the struggle.
2 years from now, you is gonna look at you right now and go, thank you very much. Because I know my 26-year-old self, I wish I could tell that guy thank you. You get what I'm saying? But I'm hoping that my 31-year-old self will be able to tell my 28, 29-year-old self, thank you very much.
Yes.
For invested in us.
Yeah. That's a gem. That's definitely a gem. That's not only like a business gem, that's a life gem.
It is.
Just enjoy the process. Like just go through it. So, I mean, thank you for that, Shane. That was great. Like I said, I hope people actually take this to heart. I hope they utilize it in their business. I hope that they learned something today, whether it be on how to get started, something within video production, or just how to contact you to get started on a project. Whatever it may be, hope we provided some type of value to you. Thank you again for coming out. Make sure y'all follow the CEO, the guru, SFE. Let's do it. Thank you for tuning in to JayField's first podcast. Make sure to tune in for many more, and we will be back with another special guest. Who knows who it'll be. Later, y'all.